Hello, and welcome back to Queen's Wish. We are... Sorry. Here. Madraka, okay. This has been a few weeks since I've played this. Just got through my exams, but we're back. And I sort of remember what's going on here. Just have the Vol left to sort out, so we are investigating whether we're going to side with the Masha or the Owen. And talking to the Owen first, I guess. You are at the base of an ancient fortress, perhaps the oldest in the Vol. It doesn't have walls, it doesn't need them. Madraka is a series of rising plateaus connected by bridges. Rebel armies have been holding up here for centuries, and you can see why. It is an almost unassailable defensive position. Sounds like a fun place to attack. We should do it. You could put it to the siege, but not even Haven's army could ever scale these stone walls. The plateaus are desperately crowded and in a state of constant chaos. Every open space is full of Owen refugees, rebel warriors, and merchants looking for information or advantage. Interesting. Captain's in the tower. Probably somebody that we should talk to. Vol Trader. I escaped. Our inventory was lost. Was that? Something like that. We'll talk to NAD. The entrance of Madraka is marked by a gruesome sight. Cages perched on the edge of the plateau. They are full of human bones. Each body has a sign around its neck. You see Koramasha, inflicted beatings and cruelties. Devera Masha, massacred fleeing Owen. Hans Masha, inflicted harms over 20 years. The Bull people take their justice very seriously, and rebellion is a bloody business. It is sure to get worse still before this war ends. Yikes. Refugee, we will all go out there. Captain, okay, there's the captain. A lot of people in Madraka are wandering around looking confused. They are scared. They have time, and they want to help. They just don't know what to do. You find one woman who is an exception. She is sitting at this old desk, polishing her armor and sharpening her blade. She looks up at you. Ah, I'm Captain Aniri. You can talk to me. You're the Prince of Haven, right? You are correct, I am the Prince. She sets aside her sword and rests her booted feet on the desk. We heard you were in the area. The council's in a tizzy over it. She points to the northeast. They're on the top platform. They're wondering what Haven, friend to the Masha, is doing here. We're all wondering that, really. I came on private Haven business. Thought so. I doubt it'll stay private in Madraka. Seems like nobody here knows how to keep a secret. Still, if that private business leads you to the higher plateaus, you need to talk to me. I direct security. Yes, I direct the guard and all the other soldiers in Madraka too. I'm supposed to keep our council safe. Considering that Haven has only ever helped the Masha, that makes me nervous about letting you see our leaders. You want to go to the high plateaus, you have to convince me. Alright. Some of these dialogue options are so tactless. I guess it is conceivably possible, if I've been ignoring the conversation options up until this point, that I wouldn't know what these marks mean, and so I could ask her. But if I was ignoring the conversation prompts up until this point, and thus didn't know what those marks meant, I'd also ignore this conversation prompt. Or I'd click it and skip through it. So I don't know. Main PC has to be dumb, I guess, in order to get information from the world. How did he come to be a captain? Well, I declared myself one. The council hadn't had time to make a good proper military hierarchy yet, so we're all left to shift for ourselves. Someone needed to take charge. The other warriors trusted me. So I said, hey, I'm a captain now. Do this and that. And they did. So I'm the captain. You know, that's actually a surprisingly sensible way of doing things. Where are you from originally? I was a generational Owen in a small quarry in the drylands. Brutal place. It's a ruin now. Once the rebellion started, we were early to fight. Our Masha, very quick with the lash, they were. Their bones were in the cages right outside for a while. They deserved it. What was your fighting career like? Surprisingly successful. After we destroyed our quarry, we attacked the Masha wherever we found them, drove them out of the eastern lands. We didn't have training. A lot of Owen didn't have the knack for fighting, and they died. I did well. Word got around. And then you came to Madraka? It seemed like the place to be. I heard they needed people who could get people to fight and fight well. I came here and found everyone running in circles, like they had the madness. I started taking charge. I'm currently developing what I call the Madraka military process. And you are, of course, going to divulge all of this to the person you suspect as siding with the Masha in the future, right? Remember that, if we fail, we die, and our husbands, wives, and our children, so get to work. I mean, I guess that's not really spoiling much of anything. That's it. It does wonder to focus the mind and get people to work together. I am tactless and dumb. What do these marks on your cheeks mean? That's right. I'm a generational Owen. What do you mean? Means not only do I have to serve for life, but so do my children and my children's children. That's why I have to fight. My children who are born and the ones who aren't born yet. I have to do all I can to make them free. Now, conceivably, if you were to have children during the rebellion, you could just not mark them, right? I don't know. That's... You still probably don't want the Masha to win in the end anyway, but even if the Masha did win in the end, that would be an option, wouldn't it? How did you come to be in debt? I tried to set up shop for myself in Mirba. Took a loan to do it. The Masha who held my debt made sure my business failed. Charged ruinous interest. He didn't want to make a loan after all. Just wanted more Owen. Why did your debt get you 3 marks and not 1? Because Mashas make all those decisions and they bribe each other all the time to get the decisions they want. The Masha who owned me was greedy for more Owen for his kids, so he made a bribe or 2. It's alright though, he's dead now. Where's your family hiding? And he shakes her head. We'll never tell. They're hidden far away. If Madraka falls and I die, they'll still have hope. I'll see them again when we are free. Yeah. I want to enter the northern plateaus. But is it to negotiate, or to spring a trap and kill all our leaders? We need to trust you, Prince, so I need a token. Your good faith show will take a fraction of the risk we do. What do you want me to do? Let's just ask her. There's a place called Drowning Jail. I've been there. It was a Vol prison. Now the Masha hold it. It's in our lands, and we don't want their warriors in our lands. We need you to drive them out. I think I've been there. I've seen the name, at the very least. Where is Drowning Jail? It's on the south coast, a day's journey west of here. It's where the Vol held prisoners and rebellious Owen. It was a brutal place to be. Who will I be fighting there? Mercenaries. The Masha are rich, and they've hired warriors from all over Sacramentum. I would have you kill Masha directly, but they're too cowardly to come this close to Madraka. They buy the courage of others instead. Clear out those mercenaries and earn some trust. Okay. Widow of the Brock. That explains it. Okay, yeah. So I already had a quest to go there, but I haven't been there yet. Okay. Well, I'm guessing that's all I can do here. Oh, that's not even a door. I can just go through. I guess... Okay, I guess she lets me up there then. So, here. Vol refugee, Vol defenders, more refugees. So our journey... I want this. The inn is, like the rest of Madraka, a tornado of disorganization. Rebels bring food in at random. It is cooked by whoever is standing nearby, then it is sort of distributed sort of fairly. One woman has taken it on herself to try and keep things under control. She takes a break from shouting and pushing and cleaning to turn to you. A Havenite, yes? We heard of you. I am Watas. This is the Madraka Refuge. The old name. No need to change it. For outsiders, we have room for 5 coins. Ale for 3. Well, I am down on stuff. I could use a rest. Have you always run this in? Watas laughs. No, I don't even run it now. I've only been in Madraka a few months. Can you tell me any news? No, I can tell you rumors. Limitless rumors. The real news is in the main council hall in the highest plateau. Only Captain Anidi can allow people up there. You ran the inn before. Some Masha. Wealthy types. Madraka is an important place. Lots of history. Lots of ceremony. When the rebellion started, a lot of us warriors ran here. We found wealthy Masha, but hardly any guards. And then what happened? Well, I can guess. The ones who surrendered were allowed to go. Oh. I actually was not expecting that. The rest were thrown off the plateaus. Then it belonged to the Owen, and we've done our best with it. This inn? Well, we started using it as an inn. I mean, that is sensible. Round of drinks, please. A wise choice. We stole a whole wagon of decent ale from a Masha caravan. She pours some out for you. It's been watered down a lot, but it's fine. All of my people are now cursed with weakness. Excellent. I need a room. She takes the money and gives you a key. Northern room, it's still dirty, but I think there's a broom in there. Huh, good enough. Yeah, nothing in the box. Okay, multiple exits. Madraka still has an intact trading post. Most of the shelves are empty, but there is still a modest, motley collection of tools and equipment scattered around. An escaped Owen stares at you from over the counter. She has the muscles and rough hands of a laborer, but she is running the shop as well as she can. I'm Melina. I buy and sell things. Tell me what you want. What do you sell here? Everything we can find. I mean, our warriors loot everything they can. We keep what we need to fight and keep our forts running. We sell the rest for gold. We need gold too. Everything here is stolen? Melina's offended. We are not thieves. We are proper Vol. All we take is spoils of war, according to the old codes. You don't sell things you make yourselves? Not yet, I'm sad to say. We Owen can make many beautiful things, we just can't do it now. We are fighting for our lives. Tell me about the crafts of the Vol. Our stone, our iron, our armor, it is the best. We Owens should know. We do the work of making it. We dream of peace, so we can go back to the old work. I want a hammer and chisel in my hand again. When that happens, we will profit from the work we make ourselves. Let me see your wares. Forgive me, Havenite. So like every other shop in this game, I don't have permission to buy yet. I have had word from the main council hall. You're not to have access to our finest goods until the matter of the Vol's status with Haven is settled to our liking. I can still purchase things from you, though. Do I have anything I want to sell? I got my old sword. I guess it's fine. Okay. Well, that's it for this place for now. Bands of Own warriors are patrolling the base of the fortress. They are untrained and poorly equipped, but they are fighting for survival. That makes them fiercely dangerous. There's a group of Owen refugees huddled up at the base of the plateau. They are understandably worried when they see armed warriors approach, and they ran off. Oh, can't pick up the stone. It's fine. Madraka and Smoky Peaks. Okay. Well, time to do a little bit more exploring. East is Madraka, west is Crossing Keep. Now entering Vol lands. This region of the Vol southern coast is a series of rocky passes. They are narrow, wind-scarred cracks, winding among huge spires of stone. This is natural defensive territory. A small group of soldiers could hold off a larger force here for a very long time. That explains why the Masha haven't been able to crush the Owen by approaching from this direction. The band of Owen rebels is guarding this pass. They block your passage through their barricades, spears and axes out. They are very brave. Their old Owen leader realizes who you are, but he blocks your path anyway. I am Grant. This pass is through the lands of the Owen Rebellion. What is your business here, Havenite? I'd like to know more about the rebellion. If you want to learn about us, Madraka is east, Havenite. They'll tell you all you need to know. We just watch the road. I've come to negotiate with the Owen rebels. They look at your insignia again. I'm just saying that because I think they'll let me through if I do. They know this is a very important meeting. Grant pulls the rebels aside to talk. They discuss what they have heard about you. They constantly cast glances at you as they review the rumors. Their looks grow gradually more calm. Finally, Grant returns. You may pass, Prince. I hope you are kind to our rebellion. Our cause is just. Alright. Cool. I'm guessing I can't get through this way then. Maybe I could. I just have to fight some dogs. You hellhounds? Hellhounds and wolves? Venomous beasts and wolves. Okay. Radiance, thank you. Blessing and haste, because haste is the most important buff in this game. They can run away, so we're not in the AoE. Alright, he's got that silly thing. A bow that's going to randomly debuff me every once in a while. The problem with not standing next to my mage is that you don't get the automatic radiance curing. There it goes. I could stop being stingy and just use a spell point. Well, these aren't too tough. Curing doesn't use up a turn. You gonna get another turn? Okay, good. My health is not the best. Let's do that. Thunder's Beasts and Hellhounds, okay. My priest, who has the lowest energy and also uses the most energy. It's not a particularly great way to set things up, but it's what I have done. Guess we're missing that one, but we're hitting the one in the back. Fusion. Radiant's nice. I like my passives. Attempt to fear. Oh. That you should just die to bleeding. Or to this. Alright, these fights weren't too hard. I'm not going towards anything in particular, I'm just filling in my map. Smoky Peaks. Okay, so this is how I came in. Mirelings down here? That's unexpected. There was a successful quarry here. The workers and owners fled after the rebellion started. A bunch of Mirelings have moved in. They are ever eager to occupy any home they can find as soon as the guards are gone. These are Mirelings, yep. And these things have so much health. Probably be going for the flingers. They don't do that much damage. But they'd probably go down a lot faster. That's one. Take out the brawler first. I think it has more potential to cause problems. Flingers are pretty sturdy too. I feel like as long as I'm being stingy with my energy, there's not really all that much to talk about with regards to my strategy here. Well, it looks like a big pack. Touched. These are just regular mirelings, though. Oh, again, huh? Okay. Got rid of the scary one. Finally, you got your action. Get our haste off. You guys hasting. Don't like that. Now these mirelings. Going to go down pretty quick. Yeah, that's why I didn't want these guys around. If I do that, I'm still not hitting my guy. Getting some good damage numbers here. Oh, good. So now my warrior can actually reach stuff, but I guess I could have switched my bow if it came to that. So it took a little bit of damage in this fight. Yeah. The bow does basically just as much damage. Okay, still in range. Doesn't matter. Alright, well... that's all the mirelings. You poke around in the caves at the far end of the quarry. There are a few mirelings, but they flee in terror. You poke through the treasure they looted from the area. You find a scattering of coins and semi-precious stones. You also find a polished tile of malachite with a rune etched on it. Interesting. You pocket it. Stability augment. Okay. Ah. Okay. Don't like my characters having full inventories. Scatter stuff around a bit. See a caravan of Vol merchants accompanied by several guards. They are alert for raiders from the Vol and Masha armies. You seem safe, so they approach you. The sun is baking hot, but it barely affects them. Their wagons are full of useful supplies. They're friendly traders. They are understandably nervous about strangers on the road. Then they realize that you are a Havenite. They've been sent by their clans to trade with Havenite ports. This is very common in vassal states. When vassal states don't want Haven around, Haven's gold does a lot to make you welcome. Now let's look at their goods. They're not going to have anything good. It's the useful stuff for keeping a fort running, but there's no equipment you can use. I think this is exactly the same word for word as the encounters we've seen in other regions. Fortunately, you rebuilt one of Haven's fortresses in the Bull. Okay, this is not the same. They changed a word. You gave the soldiers directions. They marched off in the correct direction. Your battalions are strong, but Haven is never able to control a vassal state without getting equipment and supplies from the merchants there. Alright. Another band of people here. Oh, you see a cloud of dust in the distance. You try to stealthily maneuver forward to see what is going on. There is a chase. A band of Masha soldiers are chasing Owen rebels across the sandy soil, leaving a cloud of dust as they run. The Owen are rapidly running out of energy. The Masha will catch them soon. Oh no. Don't get involved. Slip away. You don't feel like getting heavily involved in the civil war right at this moment. They run off into the desert and are soon lost from sight. Could have gotten points with either faction by doing that. Might have just gotten points with the Mashas by not doing anything. I don't know. But we're going to wait on that. Mechlin Quarry. Well, given how much time I've been spending wandering around and all that, I don't know if I actually have time to do a dungeon. I'm already half an hour in, so... Conlan's Pit, take over this area. So maybe we're just going to explore the overworld today. And then deal with the dungeons. Next time. Resources? Rebels here have a big pile of stone at the edge of their camp. You aren't sure how they got it all. However, it is worth money. As bulky and useless as it is to them, the rebels won't let you have it. Never mind. There's a band of Owen rebels camped on this side of the river, keeping watch over the other side. There's a matching pack of soldiers on the other side, well-armed loyalists. The two forces constantly shout taunts at each other, while you are sure, secretly glad they don't have to fight. Yeah. Easy to... Oh, hello, Marlings. Easy to talk, but actually fighting is another story. Couldn't get in range of the touched. I guess I could have if I had played that differently. Used the spear ability instead. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. One down. Okay, that should be sufficient. Kind of surprised to see Mirelings here in the Vul, but I guess it's just a case of it being a one-man studio in charge of the game and, you know, reusing assets. Probably should switch to bows at this point. That would be the smarter way of fighting this. So let's stop being dumb and actually do it. Alright. Get ourselves a heal. You find the dried out body of a Vul warrior, maybe Masha, maybe rebel. You can't tell anymore. Mirelings trapped the soldier here. The Mirelings stole the body's coins and weapon, but they left a scroll tube behind. Mirelings can't read. I got Scroll of Life. Ugat still has a chance of theft, huh? Never sorted that out. Still losing stone because I haven't activated any of the quarries from this side of the Vol, but it's fine. We can afford it. Okay, what do we got down here? Drowning Jail. That is a dungeon. We'll do that later. You see a group of young Vol warriors. They have chainmail and axes, standard equipment for the Vol. The heat doesn't bother them at all. They're walking through the sandy waste, but they seem confused and lost. When they see that you are outsiders not fighting in the Civil War, they wave. Yeah, they want to have directions to a haven fort. Okay. Okay, that's just give me a view, I guess. Cool. Rebel territory to east, so we are back in civilized lands. Crossing Keep, huh? This was definitely something I wanted to get set up. You are close to the ruins of Crossing Keep, one of Haven's 7 outposts on Sacramentum. In fact, it is the 7th outpost. I have the other 6 all built and maxed out on buildings, I believe. The port spans a river, providing a safe port for merchant ships. This was once a major center of trade and thus gold for Haven. Now this ruin is ready to be rebuilt, sending us gold where it should be sent, to you. Happily, General Aquila has already paved the way. You see the fires of Haven soldiers on the north side of the fort. The Vols signed a treaty giving this land to Haven. Your mother's ships have dropped off soldiers, workers, and materials. All they need is the command to get to work. We are going to do that. I guess these soldiers didn't want to talk. Ooh, fancy. Oh, that's funny. I was curious if it was going to let me see what the place looked like when it was in a state of disrepair, but I guess it's just going to let me walk through it. You approach this camp. There are a bunch of Haven workers sitting by the fire, fanning themselves to keep cool. The moist breeze from the ocean doesn't give much relief from the full heat. When you get close, a young Havenite leaps to her feet. She is vibrating with energy. She runs forward and kneels at the same time, skidding to a stop in the dust in front of you. She says, "I am Chief Lisa Gansky. We're ready to work. Give the order, and we can rebuild Crossing Keep." How did you get here? General Aquila had a boat drop us here. We sailed by Tablin. The Masha waved at us as we went by. They like Haven. I need you to tell us if we like them back. Yeah. It's very important. You don't get to have those kinds of opinions. That's the royalty privilege for that. How will the Vol think of us rebuilding this fort? Depends on which Vol you ask. The Owen are scared that we'll crush the rebellion and make them all slaves again. The Masha want us to win their war for them. She shrugs. You make the hard decisions, I just follow orders. Alright, get to work. Master of Empire, achievement unlocked. It's probably for the last fort. Chief Gansky turns and starts shouting. The order is given. Move into the fort. We sleep under a roof tonight. The sweaty soldiers and craftsfolk rise to their feet with a cheer. Then they flood into Crossing Keep. You can now collect resources from mines you control in this region. Yeah, already could. You can now recruit Vol characters in your forts. Already could. When you rebuild 2 forts in a country, theft chance there goes up by 20%. Oh boy. We'll deal with that in a moment. Now you've discovered Crossing Keep. Ooh, scorpions. Looks like they've trapped some people. That looks exciting. Now entering Crossing Keep. That's a lot of soldiers. How are my resources? I am maxed on wood. Okay, well, upgrading the fort increases resources gathered, reduces theft in the region. We're just going to do that. I do not have enough stone. Oh. That problem will be sorted out in the near future. It's a lot of stone. This is kind of cool, actually. We got a different layout on this one than in most of them. I think I just hit something. Just need to... Okay, good. The recording is still working. Thought I might have just switched scenes or something accidentally, but nope. Everything looks good. Can I build in here? I wonder. Okay. There's a way out. Cool. You know what? Let's just throw these down. We're maxed on wood anyway, can't have more than 50, so might as well spend it before lose it. Lose the income. Oh, 3 named characters, oh boy. 40. These bull are expertly repairing some old cracked floor tiles, we leave them alone. Rufus. Okay, why do you guys have names? Is that a Kickstarter thing? Inside this fort, this dilapidated trading hall is getting some attention. The broken windows have been replaced. 2 Vul, an old man and a young woman, repair cracked floor tiles. At the counter, an old bald Havenite is carefully painting a small sign to go on the door. They're so involved in the work that they have not noticed you. It is I, Prince Nithin. The Vul remain focused on their task, but the old man stops painting and looks up. His eyes squint and he steps closer to make sure the insignia on your chest is real. Good day to you, Prince Nithin, he bows. Forgive my not kneeling. My knees are a bit touchy. I'm John Alvord, Haven's Way, agent, fresh out of retirement. What are you painting? He shows you the sign. It reads, Haven's Way, in debt? Inquire further within. He says, clearly I was no painter before I retired, but it'll do. It means this hall will be the Haven's Way Vul Outreach Office, right, which is where Vul recruits get to sign up to join the Haven Army. Who are they? Point to the Vul. Alvord smiles proudly. This is Rufus and his oldest daughter, Porty. His workshop burned during a skirmish at the start of their civil war. He was left heavily indebted, trying to rebuild. Not for 2 lines on his cheek. He and his children were to be Owen. But there's a happy ending. Rufus was about to turn himself over to local Masha when he happened upon me first. We came to a mutually beneficial arrangement. He paid off his debt with our coin, and Haven is a skilled local craftsman to help us rebuild, at a heavily discounted and fixed rate for only 10 years. What is a Vul Outreach Office? We buy the debt of poor Vul, so no Masha can turn them into Owen. At your raised eyebrow, he swiftly adds, it's called indentured service. They work only for us for a variable length of time depending on their debt load, usually around 10 years. We even provide a small fixed income, then they are free. What do you think of the Owen system? Officially, Haven's Way doesn't have opinions about such matters. Unofficially, people work hardest when it is for their own benefit. Forced lifetime servitude across generations, besides leading to grotesque abuses, is contrary to maximizing returns and efficiencies. Their system should have been abolished or heavily reformed. What do the Masha think of your efforts? Honestly, I hope they do not know. I suspect they would not approve. We are competing with them, and our way is superior since it benefits Haven, with skilled workers, and indebted Vul, since they don't become Owen. Fortunately, I know the Masha. Their honor will forbid them from asking us directly about this. If you stay silent too, I can continue recruiting Vul at favorable terms. You ever buy Owen? No, his shock is genuine. The Queen made it clear, we are forbidden to buy Owen. I obey, unless our representative here, you, my prince, decides otherwise. Start buying Owen, then set them free immediately. Maintain the Queen's policy, start buying Owen, but keep them as Owen. Oh boy, those are choices. Yeah, let's not get involved in buying Owen. A wise and prudent choice. Our way is superior. Eventually it will cut off their supply of Owen. The Masha will be forced to change. You stop listening to the flood of words before it ruins the warm feelings you got from making a prudent choice. Eventually, he stops talking and excuses himself to finish painting the door. What about your retirement? For over 3 decades, I served the Haven's Way Society, traveling the world to spread the Haven ideal of progress and prosperity through trade. We recruit locals to advance Haven's interests and educate them in our ways. Sometimes we use them to make money to fund our good works. When I heard we were re-establishing our colony here, I decided to unretire and return. Return? I was born in the Vul. My mother was an administrator for this region until the calamity drove us away. I even met our queen in the glory of her youth when she toured the Vul. I know the Vul, their deep sense of honor and work ethic. I knew this would be a great opportunity for the Haven's Way Society. I very much wanted to spend my last productive years back here, so Haven's Way bid the queen for me to be included in the first wave. You bid to be here? The Sacramentum expedition had few open berths for private concerns. The berths were put up as a sort of auction for petitioners. A team of us made a lengthy presentation to the court and offered a hearty payment of gold. The queen liked what she saw and sent 3 of us. Some people paid to come here? Standard Haven practice. Getting to a vassal state early can result in great profit. Merchants know this, and they fill Haven's coffers for certain privileges. Don't worry, Haven's Way has a plan to earn all we've paid back, and then some. You weren't actually worried. 3 of us? Yes, 1 in each nation. My focus is to recruit simple, skilled locals, stoneworkers mainly, but also carpenters, weavers, smiths, and so on. He waved at the bowl repairing the floor. Cool. Good work. Make money doing good. Scroll of Mercy. We'll sell it. You find Chief Lisa Gansky. Since you met her outside, she has settled into an old desk, cleared away the trash, and gotten to work. She leaps to her feet as you approach. Hope the work is proceeding to your liking, Prince. I am ready to give my formal report. I will accept your report. Alright, we found that the Masha left our land alone while we were gone. We've cleared the bulk of the scorpions who settled here and restored the fort and cropland. Restoring the fort and cropland is proceeding well. The fighting between the Owen and the Masha has not come close to our claims. I think they both want to avoid angering us. The situation is very touchy. Both the Owen and the Masha want Haven to help them win the war. If any of them suspect that we want to side with their enemies, I'm afraid they will attack us and burn Cross and Keep to the ground. That is why I must sadly make some requests, in my role as chief, I mean. What can I do for you? My private counsel is that the Vul will not be a good vassal as long as this war continues. Yeah, that makes sense. However, the two opposing forces are in a stalemate. Applying the force of the South Battalion may be necessary to forge a good vassal here. Also, if you ever have time, there's a small matter I still will need a ruling on. How did you end up out here? Your face lights up. I was serving as a chief in a more settled land, and I heard rumors of a big secret project. Hush hush, high status. I asked around and I learned what was going on. Sacramentum, the dream. I made a pain of myself, and I was chosen for this mission. Tell me about your past service. She tells you, it's a lot of posts, a lot of difficult situations, a lot of success. You can see why she was chosen for this mission. She chose you to come here. The Queen, she chose the chiefs and officers who came to the Vul herself. I'm sorry you have to deal with my mother. I'm gonna say it. Chief Gansky is confused. Sorry? Because I would be afraid? No, the Queen is a great sovereign. Being selected by her will be the pinnacle of my career. Anyway, that is my story. I hope my experience is suitable for your needs. Here are things with the Vul. The Masha and Owen stare at each other and we're right in the middle. You'll find both sides very touchy, afraid, quick to anger, also desperate for your help. We'll probably be offered a lot of quality bribes. This reminds me, there's a bit of policy that needs to be settled. I don't have the rank for it. Any thoughts on dealing between the Masha and the Owen? Well, when I learned I was coming here, I read a ton of reports by chiefs and officers who served here. It was enlightening. What did you learn? They all expected the Owen to rebel. Every one of them. The Masha have been getting greedier for generations. Fewer Masha, all richer and softer. More and more Owen, all angrier. It was only Haven's help that kept the rebellion from happening. Then the calamity happened. We left, and she shook her head. What guidance do you need? When the rebellion started, lots of Owen ran away, many to fight, but a lot of them just wanted to be free. A lot of their refugees have come here. We need to know whether to let them live on our land or not. If we do, there will be some expense. We don't have the spare gold to buy provisions, but we can trade stone. What have you been doing before now? We've been letting them stay. We don't want to start hunting refugees. However, there really are a lot of them, more all the time. We'll have to trade stone for food to keep order and keep them from starving. What are your thoughts? Putting aside that letting them stay will cost precious gold, if we let them stay, it may anger the Masha. Kicking them out will infuriate the Owen. It all depends on which side you want to please. You see, I'm sure why I couldn't make the decision. Well, based on what I'm hearing about the Masha's inability to keep control without our help, I am less inclined to side with them, just as a matter of practicality. If either side can do its own thing, then... I don't know, can I skip out of this and answer it later? How are you doing getting resources? Cillian is a cunning trader, and she is doing well getting wood, stone, and all that sort of thing. There are plenty of surviving colonies and farms around who appreciate Haven's business. There's one disappointment, though. We thought Conlin's Pit would be happy to see us return. They aren't. What is Conlin's Pit? The Haven community, Havenites who bought and operated a quarry before the calamity. They're still there. We thought they'd be happy to see us return. Instead, they turned my messengers away without a word. Are they still even Havenites, not just bandits, maybe? Yes, they're still there. They've been surviving all these years, trading with the Vol. We thought they'd be happy to see us return, so they turned messengers away without a word. What do you want from them? Stone. They are Havenites, and Haven is back. They are under my protection now, and they have to pay the taxes all Havenites do. Someone has to go out there and get them to obey our laws. I'll try to visit them and see what's happening. I appreciate it, Prince. I am sure a brief visit from royalty will awe them into submission. If only it were that easy. Okay, we probably have a sage upstairs, too, if I had to guess. Okay. Notes on DK. Queen Sharon III is wise. She's a pillar of justice among the rulers of Haven. Thus I can write these notes without terror. This has not always been true. Haven is small, our soldiers are few. If a vassal truly does not want us there, we can always be driven out. Thus we have to find a group that will protect us and keep us there, in return for what we give them, what we promised to give them. But that promise can never be kept, because there will always be another monarch. Maybe one cruel or inept or insane. Then our promises are broken, but we're dead, so we don't see it. People of the vassal, they feel it. Their opinions were never asked. Interesting. The sage of Cross and Keep is sitting at her desk, sorting through piles of records. Most of the scrolls are old records that have been crumbling in these shelves for 40 years. She mutters, "Why is Gansky making me deal with this mess? It should all be burned." She sees you. "Oh, Prince Nithin, my apologies. I am Sage Alaya. Welcome to the fort. I hope it's all right. What's your job here?" "The Sage. Letters, records, battalion history. I take care of all of that. Nothing important enough to bother you." Any leads on useful information? Hidden treasures?" "Really? You're asking if any of these trash scrolls say where treasure is?" "It happens sometimes." "Well, no luck. I'm sure there are mighty artifacts out there, but I don't know where. My only treasure is wisdom. I study history. I am working on a theory for how Haven works." "What theory could that be?" Her face falls. She suspects that she's made a mistake telling you. I'm working on an idea, the theory of inevitable decay." Uh-oh. It's a challenging idea, and very undeveloped. It's not worth wasting your time." "That's fine." Elias sighs, trapped. "It is just an idea about Haven and its vassals. It is that, well, when a nation becomes our vassal, no matter how good things go, we bring ruin to it eventually." Yeah, that's the thing that we read earlier. What sort of ruin does Haven bring? It varies, of course. War, starvation, poverty, chaos. Some think, well, not me, but some say our supporting the Masha for so many years kept the Owen system going until war was the only way to resolve it. Why does the ruin happen? Sometimes Haven gets a king or queen who is mad or cruel. Not Queen Sharon, of course, but, history. Even if the king or queen is good, they can put a bad governor in charge, or they can make a big mistake or enact bad policy because they're dumb or don't care. With wisdom or careful management, the ruin doesn't have to happen? That's impossible. Humans make mistakes. If being perfect is the only way to make a system work, it's a bad system. She remembers who she is talking to. I mean, some people say that, not me. Ah, dear. I'm still not really sure how I'm role-playing this at this point. We'll just say it's an interesting theory. Thank you, Prince. Of course, it's just a theory, and I don't believe it. Please don't tell the Queen about it. I'll get back to work now. Treaty of Vassalage between Haven and the Vol, year 459. Here's outlined the vassalage contract between the mighty Empire of Haven and the Vol, between King Kael of Haven and the Council of Tablin, elected representatives of the Vol Masha. Haven declares that the Vol is a favored vassal, with all protections included. An attack on the Vol is an attack on us. Thieves and rebels in the Vol are an offense to Haven and will be removed. Full trade between our powers is guaranteed. As the Vol is favored, it will receive all due benefits in conflicts between it and the other states of Sacramentum. Haven will also help the Vol to quell any rebellion of the class commonly called the Voloan. So this is the interesting part that's going to be different from the other two, because the Vol was the favored vassal in the past. Still haven't really thought about who I want to favor this time. In return, the Vol grants Haven full movement in their territories and full consultation on any political matters. Land for 2 forts will be provided for Haven, and the Vol will protect the security of these lands. This agreement will last as long as Haven and the Vol exist as independent peoples, so agreed in sacred bond by both parties in the year 459. Standard stuff. A bed that I can probably use. I also did see that I leveled up. I'll deal with that downstairs. Alright. That's all the talking part of the new fort done. Alright, we are going for the haste passive. Teleport. It's always useful just to have on the rare occasions where I decide that I need to use it. Probably don't need every single character to have that ability, though. Curing also useful to have. Ah, finally! Up to 21 energy like everybody else. Alright, 10% bonus to speed, I guess, is the next thing I'm going for. Disruption, it's fine. I've been neglecting this, but that's fine. Really don't need it. Alright, we're just gonna build all of these buildings. I definitely think that this fort... Oh, they're Cillian, okay. This fort has the most interesting layout out of all of them. Do I need this many buildings? You can sell excess stone, right? So I will not be using your services. The quartermaster of Crossing Keep is sitting at the docks, cataloging boxes of supplies. An occasional small boat sails up the river, bringing supplies to trade from nearby quarries and farms. Your soldiers trade fiercely to get your fort everything it needs. Just till you get his immediate attention. Welcome, Prince. I am Quartermaster Cillian. This is a great honor. I'm doing my best here, but if you have any extra directions, I will get you what you need. I am a humble quartermaster. The Queen selected Chief Gansky to come here, and she brought me along. A great honor. Sacramentum is a glorious project. Use rest and supplies. We expected that. We set up a bedroom for you upstairs in the main hall across the river. As for equipment, we have nothing better than what you already have, of course. Exchange resources. I can relieve you of any excess materials you have. You can get gold for your excess iron and quicksilver. You can also use my contacts to trade wood, iron, and quicksilver for good wool stone. Ah, I see. I can sell. Makes a small note on a scroll. We will collect the resources from Fort Haven and deliver the stone. To sell something. Get rid of those. Alright. Smithy. It's too bad we can't just buy stone with gold. I'm gonna go Smithy. Is it gonna let me get more? Apothecary. Weaving room, carpenter, and barracks. I guess we'll get all of these as well. Yeah. And then we can't afford the rest of this because we are short on stone and also wood now. But that's fine. Okay, so where do we want... Well, I guess that's what these 5 structures are going to be, and then we got these here. I was curious, so I'm going to run up here real quick. It is not going to let me... Oh, it will let me place one here? That's funny. I just had a free building here. I didn't need to buy... Oh, I didn't need to buy all of these. Oh well. The smithy here. That is the last smithy, I believe. Apothecary. Carpenter. And barracks. Okay, so we have established for ourselves quite the fort in very short order. And we've explored all of this land, so all that's left is this little stretch here, and then clearing out all of the dungeons and quests, and picking a side between Madraka and Dublin. So lots of stuff still to do, but making pretty good progress. I also probably should spend a little bit of time looking at the shops just to see if there's any more gear that I want. I don't think there will be, but since I did just hit the final tier, I might as well check it out. So we'll do that next time as well. I will see you then.